The showcase of the best players in the NFL is coming up as Las Vegas welcomes the Pro Bowl for the first time. The stars of the AFC and NFC are ready to shine. Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. For years, the NFL's best received a trip to Honolulu or Orlando for their efforts, but now they get a trip to Vegas as EA Sports welcomes you to Allegiant Stadium here in Southern Nevada. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
Players the NFL has to offer on one stage. The AFC NFC Pro Bowl underway here in Vegas. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They're led by the NFL's MVP in 2018 and also MVP of Super Bowl 54 in his 5th season. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Henry again on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Let's go, baby.
13 yards on the play. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Now a handoff to Henry. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Mahomes buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A give to Henry. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Keenan Allen there to make the grab. And the AFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the 1st quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out comes the NFC for their initial drive. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, now in his 17th season out of Cal. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. That's the end of the 1st quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The NFC with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Throwing now is Rodgers. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. To throw is Rodgers. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Big hole up the middle, and they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Second down and goal. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
Just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Andre Roberts now to return it.
Let's go. The AFC takes over first and 10.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Second and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their 2nd as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And again, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. So we have hit halftime of the Pro Bowl with the AFC leading the NFC. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the AFC. And it was a tricky half to figure out numbers-wise. They've got the lead, but you'd figure they're definitely talking about ways to get this passing game back on track. Meanwhile, for the NFC, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It's the NFC to possess it first as we are back and underway for the third quarter. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Now this one has been fun so far, as the Pro Bowl usually is. A lot of relaxed faces out there. 2nd and 10. A give. This is Cook. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. To throw, it's Rodgers. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Get ready, get ready.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And flags come as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. DeAndre Hopkins, 37 yards. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
A try here for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Roberts now on the return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he stopped immediately there. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Second and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. He can't get him down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes off your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats tell the story as he was traveling at better than 19 miles an hour. To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's complete to Diggs. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 40-yard line.
A handoff, running left, Henry. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
takes over first and 10 at their own.
The offense for the NFC back out there. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and they'll have to live with that for the rest of the year.
They start the drive with Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Throwing now is Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the AFC is going to get the football back in great field position. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. To throw is Mahomes. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it now.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mahomes. There's a nice move. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the NFC going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Second and 11 now. Derrick Henry. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So it's a victory here in the Pro Bowl for the AFC.